What it is, YouTube? It is I, Juicer, or Peter, and I'm back to finally give you guys the infamous video, friendship. If you're gonna tell, I got a haircut, but the video. Where do I even begin with this one? Let's define the word friendship first. At least in my opinion, I think that friendship is a very loosely used term in today's society, especially because everyone just throws around the word friendship as anybody they meet. They're like, oh yeah, that's my friend Jim, even though we met yesterday. So let's just go to dictionary.com, and here are my script, and yes, I do write a script. Dictionary.com says, a friend is a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. For the most part, I do agree with dictionary.com's definition. I just think that a friend is not someone you just know and have a mutual affection for. I think that's more of an acquaintance rather than a friend. My definition of friendship is someone whom you share a mutual liking for while also being able to express your emotions without much hesitation. Now, am I saying my definition is perfect? No, that's not the case. My definition definitely has some holes, and people might say, oh, this part's wrong, or this part I don't agree with, which is completely okay. I just think this is my definition, and this is what I think of friendship as. Friendship is a universal topic, so I believe anyone watching this video, no matter where you're from, will identify with some of these things I'm about to say. So here's my opinion on really what defines a real friend and what traits that real friend will have. First thing before anything else, what you need to have is the right mindset. Now, I say this every video, or just the two videos in this video that I'm posting. If you're gonna tell, I keep emphasizing this idea about the right mindset. I believe that before you can have a relationship with anybody else, you need to kind of sort of master the relationship with yourself first, and to understand yourself first so you can understand what you really want in a friend. Now, back to this idea about the right mindset. There is a level of maturity that is required when trying to pursue a friendship or trying to maintain a friendship. Is it as high as, let's say, dating? I don't think so. I really don't think so. But it is a very different and very indescribable emotional relationship with somebody. A friend is truly someone who takes criticism well, understands you well, gets along with you well, and if you guys argue like any relationship, you guys can reconcile, and that's what really a true friend is. It's very indescribable, but some actions do stand out and say, yes, this is a true friend. Like dating, friendship is a very natural process. You just kind of click with somebody over just a general sense of time. For example, one of my closer friends that I have now was someone that we were just around each other a bunch at school. We never really talked to each other. We saw each other. I don't think we really knew each other's names. But one day, we just started talking about basketball because it was on the TV, and we were hanging at somebody's house, and the basketball was on, and then I just mentioned something about basketball, and he was like, wait, you watch basketball? You don't seem like the type to watch basketball. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I watch basketball. So that's one thing that really happened. It was just a natural relationship that has happened over time with someone I was just around, so I kind of grew used to his presence, and we just got along. This natural friendship that I have for me brings me to my next point, and probably the biggest piece of advice that I can give to a lot of people about friendship, and that is, do not force friendships. Like I said, friendships happen really naturally, so forcing yourself into a friendship, like trying to force yourself into a conversation, or trying to feel included, is probably a sign that their connection isn't happening and that a friendship isn't being established. One example I could think of is somebody who buys gifts for his so-called friends because he feels the need that he needs to be accepted by them, otherwise the friends will go away if he doesn't buy gifts. This is different from, let's say, a person buying gifts for the kindness of their hearts. That, I believe, is already established friendship, so it's a very different dynamic. This person, the other person who just buys gifts just to feel accepted, is doing it because he wants to fit in, because he wants these friends. He's basically trying to buy his friends. And with this, I say, don't change yourself for someone else. Real friends will accept you for who you are. Now, my next topic of discussion is, what do friends do? I don't know why I said that in such a weird voice. But friendships come to a point where, I guess for guys at least, it comes to a point where we'll start calling each other's names, like curse words or just certain phrases, and they're actually taken as compliments. I don't know why, it's just what it is. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I like to try to refrain cursing on this channel, so I won't say like any of the bad words or phrases that I call my friends or what they call me. So. Now, why I mention this is because a lot of people don't know the difference between what being of being a prick is versus what being a friend is. Some people think just because they're so-called friends that they're allowed to, take someone else's phone without their permission, to talk behind their back when they leave, or just to flat out make fun of them. Now, one thing I'm gonna say is that just because you call someone a friend or you consider them a friend, it gives you no right, I repeat, no right to infringe on their personal space, to make fun of them at any source, or to talk behind their back. Now, some people who do this kind of behavior will just kind of hang and shrug it off and use this excuse that I'm just a naturally mean person. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's, well, I can't curse, but I can't buy it. It's a bunch of bull, I know I said real friends will accept you for who you are, but I don't think people really accept anyone as a friend if they act that way towards them. It is very unacceptable behavior, and I really want to see how long you'll last with any kind of relationship or friends acting like that. No one can tolerate it, and even if you're just with a bunch of other mean people who do the same thing, it just breeds negativity, and honestly, it's just very sad to see. Now, of course, you're probably wondering, it's like, oh, I make fun of my friends, I call them names, does this make me a bad person? Well, yes and no. Everyone is naive when it comes to this. Everyone kind of calls each other names and stuff because it doesn't really cross your mind whether or not you're offending the person. And as we're talking behind someone's back, that's a big fat no. Talking behind someone's back it's just, you're just being a prick and you're just gossiping behind someone's back just to try to fit in. I have hope for everyone, and I hope you realize, like, if you're doing this now and you're watching this video, that you can stop. If you think what you're doing is right, well, let's just see how far you go and how much friends you'll make. Like, just ask your so-called friends if they're fine with you doing it. Like, let's be honest. As the case for, I guess, making fun of someone else, calling them names that you consider a friend, one thing and the most important thing probably is to ask that person. You have to ask that person whether or not they're okay with you doing that. Some people are really fine with it. Some people are okay, just like, oh, we're just friends, we're just messing around, it's fine. They don't really mean it. And some people will take it very offensively. Some people are going through very hard times, and sometimes they're very self-conscious about themselves. So someone saying a comment like that, or you saying a comment like that, will offend them in a way that you probably wouldn't have expected. So it's okay to make fun of someone, in my opinion, as long as you ask your friend if it's okay. This happened for me. Like, I got offended by some of the stuff my friends said, so I told them all. I was just like, hey guys, like, I'm not cool with you guys saying these things. Like, you can say the other things, just don't say that anymore, please. And they're like, okay, like, we're sorry, we didn't know. And so I made it my personal goal to, like, ask all my friends, which I did, to ask all my friends about it. It's just like, hey dude, I know I make fun of you a lot, I say all these jokes, what are some of the things that you don't want me to say that you think are pretty offensive? And they told me, and I was just like, okay, got it. Yeah, I don't make those jokes anymore. I think why people don't really do that is because people don't, like, being in high school myself, people don't enjoy confrontation at all. People just find it awkward, they just don't want to do it, they just don't want to deal with it, so they're fine with just, like, keep it to themselves, even though that's not very healthy. Now, my final topic for this video is, why is friendship important? Friendship is important for a lot of reasons. But I think easily I can say why friendship is important is because if you don't have friends, you'll be very lonely. Some people like to say, I'm an introvert, I like hanging out by myself. Yeah, I'm an introvert, I like having some alone time, but I think everyone needs a friend. Otherwise you'll succumb to some loneliness problems, and some people that have these problems will, like, find God or find religion and say, like, the only one who understands me is God, the only one who understands me is Muhammad, the only one who understands me is this so-and-so. Maybe they're dull and they just have a lot of problems and they're just like, I'm so lonely, I just need someone in my life, I can't make a friend. That said, friendship really does keep you healthy. Friendships will keep you mentally healthy with the idea that someone's there to listen to you, that you can vent your feelings, you can get advice, along with it keep you physically healthy with you kind of hanging around them. Even if it's like somebody you talk to, at least you're talking to somebody online. Like, you're talking, you're moving muscles. The last piece is that the friends you make will shape you as a person. Psychologists say that the people you are around the most will shape your personality the most. So that unique personality that you have, be thankful for the people that are around you. And make sure you make some good friends. Friendships take a little bit to develop, they take a while to develop. Friendships are a very special relationship. They're a very unique one that's very different from, let's say, your parental relationship or your girlfriend or boyfriend. It's a very different one that develops over time. And that relationship should not be, taken for granted at all. Friendships will perish one day. Some of them will. Some circumstances will call for it. Let's say someone just moves and you can't keep in contact with them. But just remember, that friend that moved away, that friend that you're not friends with anymore because they're gone, just remember, they helped you shape who you are today.